So you are all welcome to this training on circuit breakers. So in this particular training, we are going to look at circuit breakers, the different types of circuit breakers, how they operate, and the various components of the circuit breakers. We'll look at electronic circuit breakers and their trip settings, and also the various parameters that we need to look at when selecting circuit breakers for a particular circuitry. So that is what we are going to be looking at under this training. So what are the objectives of this training? At the end of this training program, you want to appreciate the different types of circuit breakers and how they actually function, how they operate. You also come to understand also the breaker trip settings, how to set that is to parameterize the circuit breaker to give you the kind of protection that you actually need for your circuitry, and also to the parameters that we need to look at in selecting the appropriate circuit breakers for our circuitry, so that it will be able to protect our circuit the way we actually want them to behave when there are fault conditions in the circuit. So we are going to look at all of these, okay? And these are some of the things that we hope to achieve at the end of this training. So to help us to achieve all of this, we have broken down this program into a series of topics or modules. So first, we are going to outline what the circuit breaker is, the basic components to enhance your understanding of the circuit breaker. Then under that section 2, we are going to look at the various types of circuit breaker. For the purpose of this program, we are going to categorize the circuit breakers into two broad categories. That is the low voltage circuit breakers and the high voltage circuit breaker, medium and high voltage circuit breakers. So we are under the low voltage circuit breakers, we are going to look at the operations, the operating mechanism of the low voltage circuit breakers, how they operate, okay? And then we're also going to look at the tripping curve of those low voltage circuit breakers, and why that understanding the tripping curve is important, especially in our selection of the appropriate circuit breakers in our circuitry or for our circuitry. We are going to look at electronic circuit breakers, the difference between electronic circuit breakers and the other thermomagnetic circuit breakers. We are going to highlight it in the course of this training, and how to set the tripping, that is how to parameterize the circuit breaker, okay? So such that it will be able to protect our circuit the way we actually want it. So the trip settings for the electronic circuit breakers, we'll look at them. And then the medium voltage and high voltage circuit breaker, which is the second category of circuit breakers we are going to look at. We'll look at the various types of circuit breakers and what informed the naming or categorization of these circuit breakers. And of course, circuit breaker selections, okay? What are the parameters that we need to look at to get or to select the appropriate circuit breakers for our circuitry? So those are some of the topics that we are going to cover in the course of this program.